I was, I graduated from UCLA with a degree in math, and I became a systems analyst. I was teaching people how to program, and I went for vacation after 10 months on the job, and I came back, and they said that I was a salesperson. And I was horrified, actually. And I said, how did that happen? But then I realized this is what was going on. I would go out there and I'd teach a class to an engineering group at Hewlett-Packard, let's say, because I was up in the Palo Alto area. And then they'd really like the class, and then the usage of our computer system, they were gaining access to our computer, was going up because of that. And I'd say, I wasn't a salesperson. I was just somebody that was really excited about my product. And so I'd say, are there any other groups here that you think I should be, get something out of learning about this stuff? They say, yeah, well, you could talk to such and such. So I didn't think, okay, I just turned this over to the salesperson and go, I just went and talked to those people. And pretty soon the usage at Hewlett-Packard was going up like that. And they must have recognized that, and I got promoted to salesperson. But I did not see myself as a salesperson. I was really uncomfortable with it. When I get on the phone and make those initial calls to people, it was like awful. I didn't know what I was doing, and then I would go out and I was not initially successful at all. I was very awkward. And fortunately, they sent me to a sales training, and I had, which is very similar to what I'm outlining to you here, and I had this gigantic insight, which was the step that I'm going to talk about today, that allows you to become a consultant instead of a pushy salesperson. I didn't want to be a pushy salesperson, so I wasn't being a pushy salesperson. And I was also not being a very effective salesperson, period, much less pushy. So what I was doing was not working. So I'm very thrilled today to tell you that you can be your natural self following the steps that I'm going to show you. And you don't have to be a pushy salesperson, and you can be very effective. The next area is inquiries, and this includes two classes of questioning. One is just people ask you questions, right? You're presenting something, and they start asking you questions about what you just talked about. And so you're answering those questions. And so it's about what are the most frequent questions I ask, that people ask me, and what are my answers to those. So it's actually preparing yourself to really make the most of those questions. For example, one thing that you may discover is that if somebody asks a question and you answer it and then tack on a success story that relates to that question from one of your clients, then it's not as people are drawing their own conclusions about how brilliant you are. You're not having to tell them, the story tells it for you. So that's something that you can do in answering questions. The other thing that I totally love, because people are so intimidated about it, it's one of my favorite things in working with sales teams is, what are the hardest objections that you run into? What are the things that shut things down? They bring it up and then you don't know what to do with it. So I was working with this company in Orange County, Pure Fit Nutrition, and they have a nutrition bar, kind of like a Balance Bar, but it's very pure. It's got no dairy, it's got no sugar, it's got no this, no that. But one of the objections that people have to is they say, it's kind of dry. And so I asked, and they're saying this is our hardest objection, what do we do about this? And I just like to brainstorm with people, and I say, well, why is it dry? And they come up with a few things, and finally it emerges that what makes most bars like that, which can have very healthy ingredients, have that kind of moisture in them, is hydrogenated oil. And so I say, well, bring that out then. When you answer it, you say, well, yeah, we made a trade-off here. We felt like, we have a pure bar. We're working with people who want the best quality products and that don't have any added ingredients, and so we decided against hydrogenated oils. And so when you have our bar, drink some water as you're eating the bar. It will help, but we didn't want that to sacrifice by putting hydrogenated oils. So you see, now you've turned an objection into how awesome your product is because you don't carry something that everybody else, you differentiated yourself. That was their worst objection. So I think it's really fun to take objections and then turn them into gold for yourself. So there's another thing that I want to mention, that this was kind of like a recent insight within the last couple of years. I realized that in order to be effective as a salesperson, I've got to have like two sub-personalities going simultaneously. So there's the warrior personality, which is, I'm going to get the order. I want the business. You know, I'm competitive. I still play competitive basketball. I'm competitive. I want to win. I want the business. I need the money. You know, I want the lifestyle that comes with, you know, so there's an intention to win, intention to get the order. That's there. The other part that is there to be really effective as a salesperson is to be totally in service to the client. Like I'm out to serve them in any way that I can. I want to present this the best way that I can so that they understand what it's going to do for them, how it's going to change their life, how it's going to change their business, how it's going to help them personally. And so these are like different things. And what I see is that people don't realize that you need a balance of that. So either you're too hard and tough and just out for the order, or you're too soft and wanting to serve the client and you're afraid to ask for the business. So actually what you're doing is, does that sound right? That you need both of those, you need both of those simultaneously. It's an art, and it's a balance, it's an art.